What is your favorite all-time con? Stormi, can you read? What is your favorite? Hey everyone, before I get started, I just want to let y'all know I'm gonna be at FWA 2019 this week, so I may not have time to post another video next weekend, but I'm gonna try my best, so yeah. Anyway, my name is Stormi the Folf, and it's time for another Q&A, since it's been something like, I don't know, almost a year since I made one. If you don't know what my Q&As are about, basically, you can ask me any question pertaining to the furry fandom or myself by typing hashtag Q&A followed by your question in the comments below, and I might just answer it for my next Q&A. Let's begin. What's an old cartoon you wish would either get a reboot or a new season? Saturn by far. That is Sonic the Hedgehog AM, which was an old Sonic cartoon way back in the 90s that would air on Saturday mornings, back when Saturday morning cartoons were a thing. I'm not talking about AOSTH with that dingus Robotnik, granted he's pretty funny at times, but Saturn, which refers to the other Sonic cartoon that takes on a more darker dystopian tone, where instead of Robotnik trying to take over the world, he's basically already done it. I was so angry when I found out they got canceled, but can't have everything, I guess. I'm a mini fur. What's the best soap or detergent to wash your fursuit? I'm assuming you meant you own a mini partial? This is a tricky one, and it depends on how your fursuit was made. If you didn't make the fursuit yourself, you need to contact your maker first and foremost before you do anything. There may be a specialized process required for properly cleaning your suit. As far as detergents go, there's not really a consistency on what the best one is, although Woolite Delicates is a popular choice. You need to use extremely gentle/delicate detergent types. Do not use any non-liquid detergents. I'm talking about those pod thingies because they can leave nasty plastic residue all over the suit, and you don't want that. What is your favorite all-time con? Stormi, can you read? What is your What is your all-time favorite con memory? Whew, too many to count. But the time I met Picari was one of the few times where I actually cried at a convention. If it weren't for her, I may have never joined the community, and as a result, this channel would cease to exist, and I would have never met Treble. I met her through a furry group. There's no telling where I would be today without her guidance, so Picari, if you're watching, thank you so much. Are you LGBT? Heck yeah, pant pride all the way. And I happen to be pansexual myself. If you could attend any one convention outside of the country, where would you go? Basically any family-friendly furry convention. I've never left the country, so this is a tricky one. Stormi needs to get out more often. I would love to attend Furdo someday though. Do you drink a lot of soda before making videos? Not really. Okay, sometimes. It's just when I start to talk a lot, I start to burp, and it doesn't seem to really matter what I drink. Granted, soda tends to amplify things a bit. In your own personal opinion, what are some ways conventions can improve to make the fandom experience even better? Try not to play favorites. Listen to everyone's concerns to the best of your ability. Don't let your ego take over. Making a convention or making a furry group should not be an ego trip. If you are making one just for the sake of having power and authority over a large group of people, it's gonna bite you back harder than that Taco Bell you had for lunch. I'm not kidding. Seriously, don't do this. What is the age you'll think you'll leave the furry fandom, or whose interest? I don't know. Honestly, if it's anything like my interest in the Sonic the Hedgehog series, it's totally indefinite, and I have been a Sonic fan since I was like 4 or 5, so I don't see myself ever losing interest, at least at this point in time. Hashtag furry forever. What made you start a furry YouTube channel? Well, from the beginning, I just wanted to vlog and blabber and rant about whatever was on my mind. As time passed, I settled on a more informational approach to the community, because when I started, there seemed to be an overall lack of content pertaining to unanswered questions and things that you're sort of expected to know as a furry, which kind of bothers me. We all start somewhere, and some of us may learn about particular topics and rules later than others. We're not naturally born with the fundamentals required to get through modern civilization, and the same applies to the furry fandom. Instead of attacking others for their ignorance, why not try to help them? Stormi, I was wondering, what is your favorite sweet treat? Oh god, lately it's Little Bites muffins, particularly the birthday cake or blueberry flavor. They're amazing, soft, and squishy. and just all things divine. I love them so much. They're so good, he said while trying to go on a diet. Do you think becoming a furtuber is hard? Oof, this depends on a lot of variables. Honestly, this question belongs in a video of its own, but allow me to answer one question by asking you another. What is it you want to do exactly? What kind of content do you want to produce? What's your skill set like? It really depends on what you want to do as a furry YouTuber. There's no single path you can take. There's like so many like branches of different furry YouTubers. Some might be like gamer channels, others might do advice content, some may just do it for the memes, and others may just do some really awesome collabs. See, there's like so many different paths you could take. If your goal is to start fresh from the beginning with zero expertise and you want to make something like, oh, I don't know, animations, and yeah, it's gonna be a little tough. But even when you have the skills required to make fluid animations, it could still be really difficult. In my case, it can get a little stressful juggling between live streams and weekly videos. And that's not including the constant social media engagement. It is like a 24-hour-a-day thing. I need to put down my phone once in a while. How do you feel about people with multiple designs by popular artists and/or people with multiple characters from closed species? More power to them, honestly. Whatever floats their boat. I personally don't see a problem with either of these things. Like, maybe this person has a particular attachment to this one artist's specific art style, and they just want to keep commissioning them for, like, you know, stickers of their persona, like I do with Fun Monstera. But really, that's their decision, their choice. I can't really tell them what to do. It's not my business to tell them what to do. And they can have as many personas of a specific closed species as they like, you know? There's not really a rule for this. I can encourage them to try out new species once in a while, but ultimately that's their decision. Yeah, I don't know if it's been asked before, but moz or paws? Paws, no contest. This shouldn't even be a question. Paws have always been superior since the beginning of time. Don't at me. What do you think would be the most impractical in terms of heat, wearability, price, lifespan, etc., species, and style for a fursuit, and vice versa? Okay, I don't know if I can answer all of this question, but I'm gonna try to answer it to the best of my ability. Let's see, if we're talking about normal routine fursuiting at a convention where you're going outdoors in the summer, you would need black fur from head to toe. Dark colors absorb a lot more heat, which in fursuiting terms isn't a good thing, especially if you love fursuiting outdoors. Unless it's like wintertime or something. Even then, you're still gonna get kind of hot because of the sunlight. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having darker color fur. If anything, it has its perks over brighter fur. It's much easier to keep clean. But darker colors are going to get hotter much faster than brighter ones because that's how thermodynamics work, or something. Cue the fact checker squad. Next would be getting a vastly oversized digigrade fursuit. I'm talking about a suit that was designed for someone that's much bigger than you are. For plantigrade, there's a little more wiggle room for size variance. But with a digigrade suit, if you have one that is just too big, you're going to have problems with padding falling out, lots of wrinkles, and the proportions just looking way off, if that makes sense. As for a lifespan, try going out with a high quality DBC base, perfectly shaped digigrade padding, LED eyes, and finally, top it off with the absolute cheapest fur you can find on the planet. It's like building a really fast car with duct tape. You're gonna have a disaster once that fabric falls apart 6 months later. I know fur is expensive, but you do not want to cheap out on it. That's why it's called a fursuit for the most part. Granted, there are fursuits without fur, but that's a whole nother can of worms for another day. Don't get fur from your nearest big box store. Go through a dedicated website for this stuff. With regards to species, using a full-blown realistic NFT fur all over the body and head for a wacky, toony persona. Actually, I'm curious to know what that would look like. It's one of those ideas that sounds so preposterous that it might be amazing. NFT fur is basically a very high-end expensive type of fur, often used by TV studios, theme park mascot costumes, museums, and so on. It's not your everyday luxury shag, but actually, it's nothing like luxury shag at all. I'll include a link in the description for more information. Whew. Okay, Stormi, stop getting sidetracked. Can you wear glasses while in fursuit? Heck yeah! This is actually more common than you might think. Many suit makers wear glasses themselves, and as a result often account for things like this by default. In any case, always remember to bring this up with whoever you decide to commission for a suit so they can accommodate you. But yeah, I am talking really fast because I'm about to run out of space on my memory card. Oh dear. Where did your fascination with potatoes come from? This is gonna sound really weird and random, but I am a talking fox wolf hybrid, which according to Wikipedia, shouldn't exist, so anything goes, I suppose. When my first fursuit package arrived in the mail just before FWA 2017, I was a discombobulated, confused, nervous, and flustered mess. Trevor was visiting me that day, and just before I cut the box open, I said, potato. I don't know where it came from or why I said it, but ever since that day, it's just sort of became a running gag, and I stuck with it. Someday I'd love to flesh out a full potato story for Stormi, animations and all, but yeah. And that's all the questions I have for this Q&A. If you got a question for me, leave it in the comments below with hashtag Q&A, and I'll try my best to answer it in the next video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't, share it with all your other furry friendos, and consider checking out my Patreon page for deleted scenes, early access to vids, my Discord server, and much, much more. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye!